So this is the part 2 of how I became fluent in English language. If you haven't watched the part 1, please go and watch part 1 because in that video I have shared how I learned English from external factors. That's my school, my career and my college. But in this video I am talking about how I learned English at home. And talking about this video, I would say that one person who played a commendable part in my English fluency and the way I am is my dad. Ever since he was a child, he went through a lot of hardships, even to get educated. None of his siblings were interested, neither were his parents. But he was the one who fought for education. He moved places. He did a lot of odd jobs to make ends meet, and he just wanted to be an educated person. So I would say he literally struggled all his life to get a respectable job. So when we were kids, me and my sibling, he always ensured that we spoke only in English. I don't know, he had this weird fancy for this language. Maybe back then he already knew the importance of this language for a future. Not only for English, he was concentrated on making us sophisticated on the whole, like the way we sit, the way we talk, the way we address people. So every minute detail he would check out. So basically, now we have many resources that tell us that English learning has four modules, which is LSRW: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But I don't know back in the 90s how he knew that these were the four modules and this was what he had to concentrate on. So I will divide this video also into four categories and tell you in detail how he worked on us in all of these four categories. So first start coming to the reading part. So I would say watch this video till the end so that you will get some tips on how you can work on your English alone at home. For the reading part, he would basically rely on our academic books. What we used to do is we used to just read the concepts or chapters that we knew were taught to us and were going to appear for the exams. But he was of an opinion that you just don't read for your exams. Reading is never going to be waste of time. You read the entire thing, the full book, all the chapters that are available in your book. Read everything just for knowledge. It doesn't matter whether it will come for your exam or no, but just read the full book to gain knowledge. I would find this habit of his so annoying. We did not have any separate access to any kind of story books or reading books, but I had a friend of mine in school and both of us loved reading novels. She was quite well off and she had access to all these extra books and novels, so she shared her books with me. We both were so much interested in reading books that we would not talk to each other till the entire book was finished. We made each other so busy with books. So these were the only books in my childhood that I read, but which my friend used to share with me. I loved going to the local library as well, and there I would see if I could borrow any book, or at least for one day, borrow some book, and the entire day I would try to finish off that book and return it on the same day. So that was my craze for novels and storybooks. When I read a book, I would imagine all the characters and all the places that were in the book. And even after completing the book for about 1 week, I would still be in the fancy land that was described in the book. So basically, that book would stay with me for a long time. So, coming to part 2, let's come to the writing part. This is going to be very interesting. As part of writing, my dad always encouraged me to write poems and write down my experiences. So, if it is a Sunday morning or it is a holiday, my dad would ask me to bring a book and a pen and sit outside with him in the nature, watching the nature. And he would tell me to just write something. Write whatever comes to your mind. Just look at the nature, the birds, trees. So, whatever you feel, please write that. So, I remember my first poem was when I was 7 or 8 years old, I'm not sure. So, I wrote my first poem that was about a sparrow, the bird sparrow. I cannot recollect of any sentences about that poem now. And whenever I went to a school picnic or anywhere outside of home for a trip, so after coming back, he would tell me, write about your experience, what you felt about the trip, what was your learning, how did you feel. Just start from the moment you left home, how you went there, what was the mode of transportation, what all did you see there, what were your learnings from that. So, how did you enjoy? What did your friends do? Was there any memorable moment from the trip? He would encourage me to write everything. As days passed by, I would love to create short stories and poems. I was also quite active in my college magazines. I would write articles for my college magazines. So he would ask me to prepare also a to-do list or maintain a separate maintenance book for home, which in which I had to update every person's duties and responsibilities and whether they were doing it right or no, and whether I had some feedback or suggestions. So I was kind of the leader of the home. So when I moved to college, I actually started writing Hindi shairis as well. I did that for a very short time, but when I moved to my 12th standard, which is like very important part of our education, so I just lost the practice of writing anything. Now we will come to the listening part. For the listening part, there was not much content available back then. The only channel was Doordarshan, that would be in Hindi. So later in the days, he would watch news all the time. Only thing that was running in the TV in our house was news, and all possible news channels, all possible English news channels. That was the only listening practice that I could do. He would ask me to sit and listen to news. That was the only English content that was available for us at home. Now coming to the speaking part. My dad was very strict that we have to speak only in English at home, even with my siblings and with him, because my mom was not very educated and she didn't know the language. But not only in speaking English language, he would also concentrate on how we spoke it. He wanted that we keep a kind of elegance in the way we speak, the way we say it. He concentrated on all of this. I don't know why, where he got this idea, but he just wanted us to grow up. And I don't know what vision he had for us and what he was preparing us for. But whatever it was not easy for us to do it back then. But right now, I feel so lucky and so blessed that he actually did all this with us. When the phone rang, we had a landline phone back then, and when the phone would ring, he would be right in front of us. He knew that one of his colleagues were calling. He would still make us answer the phone just so that we got out of the hesitation of talking to people. Also, because we should learn how to speak to elders who is on the other side of the call. In this way, he taught us telephone etiquettes, how to address, how to begin the call, how to conversate, keep the conversation going, ask them about how they were doing, and was there any message for my dad. He would be right in front, but we had to answer the call, greet the person, talk nicely to him, and later we should tell him that my dad is in the washroom or he's gone out and he's going to call you back. This thing was like so stressful for me, for my sibling as well. Whenever the phone rang, we would push each other to answer the call. We would feel so conscious and we were kind of scared because we had to be perfect when we were talking to them. Otherwise, after the phone call, my dad would scold, didn't do this thing properly. You didn't address the person well. We were all scared of my dad. That was the generation those days. So that was stressful for me, but it was kind of nice. Whatever he did, I realized the importance of it now. So he taught us telephone etiquettes, proper behavior. We shouldn't be very casual with somebody or take somebody for granted. We have to maintain a kind of formality in the way we speak, and we should behave in a sophisticated manner. When we went out, he would ask us to approach a stranger and talk to them in English. For example, if we were in a restaurant or whatever, he would ask us to go and begin the conversation, and the conversation has to be in English. We have to even speak to our friends in English. So this became a habit to me. In my college, in my engineering days, also this habit continued, and I kept approaching people in English, talking to them in English, and people kind of disliked me for my behavior and my language because my language was good back already. They wanted to chill out and they wanted to be casual and not very disciplined. But I was made like this and I would not fit in well in the company of some people. Maybe that was the reason I did not have many friends in engineering, because people did not want to approach me because I spoke in English. And last days of college, we had to write feedback about each other. Just pick one person and everybody had to write feedback about that person. So most of the people wrote that I had a lot of attitude. But trust me, I'm the most humble and grounded person you will see. I do not have an inch of attitude. But just because of English, I was judged and put into this category that I have a lot of attitude and I behave in a strange way and I'm too disciplined. But that's okay. My dad prepared me for life, for myself. It doesn't matter if people were not happy with me. I've, I'm not here to please people, so I didn't care much about it. But I'm just sharing this in this video just to tell you that there is a negative thing to whatever you do. So that was my speaking practice, and this is my dad's contribution in making me the way I am today. And coming to currently what I am doing in order to continue with my speaking practice, the only thing that I am doing now is listening and speaking. Listening part, I do a lot of English speeches, podcasts. I listen to life stories in English. And for the speaking part, I am a tutor. I'm connecting to people, and I've been approached by a lot of people for conversations on a daily basis. So that is what I'm doing currently to maintain my consistency in this language. So that's it for today's video. I think I spoke a lot already, and I don't know what you will feel about it. Please let me know. I don't suggest that you do what my dad did with us, or I'm not telling he did a good or bad thing. I'm just being neutral. I'm just sharing my experience of what happened with me. So I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, I think you have watched the full video, means to say you like the video. So give it a thumbs up so that I will know that you have liked it. So leave me your comments also in the comment section, please. I will see you soon in another video.